Shri Gurucharitra Chapter 21. Shri Gurudeva Datta Parabrahmane Namaha. Guruji saves the deceased boy. To console the mother who was afflicted by the pangs of separation of her son, Shri Guruji assumed the form of young ascetic and appeared before her. He started imparting the eternal knowledge to her in the following manner. O Mother, so far none of the persons who is born on this earth remained immortal. Death is ultimate truth. One who is born is sure to die. This body is momentary. It is subservient to the time factor, and one day or the other has to leave this world. To conceive any relation in this world, say mother and son, husband and wife, is nothing but sheer ignorance. Ignorance and attachment are the reasons for your misery. One's longevity in this birth is determined by his past deeds. No one is responsible for causing death of another. Everyone, including gods, sages, and others, have to swallow the fruits of their actions. Betterment of soul cannot be achieved by nourishing physical relations between human beings in this world. Death is a settled event. Digesting this supreme truth, you shall get relieved from sorrow and permit to perform funeral rites of this young lad. Shri Guruji tried to convince her thus. The misery-ridden mother heard the sermon delivered by that ascetic boy coolly with rapt attention. Then she said, Sir, I am impressed by your philosophical sermon. Even then, my mind is not settling down. As told by you, if destiny dictates everything in life, then why shall one worship Sri Hari and Guru? If destiny surpasses Sri Hari and Guru, would it not be then useless to worship them and amount to waste of time? Look, we believed in the words of Guru and were under the impression so far that, as assured by Guru, the children born to us had longevity. We were living on the hope of that assumption. How can the words of Sri Narsingh Saraswati Guruji go unrewarded? Shri Guruji had blessed us with issues having longevity. How can there be betrayal now? What is wrong if I grieve for my dear son who is no more? Impressed by her inner feelings and her invariable intellect, Shri Guruji, who was in the guise of that ascetic boy, decided to test her. So he said thus, Hey mother, if you have so much trust in the words of Guru, then take the body of your son immediately and offer the same at the lotus feet of Guruji, which are installed below the Audumbar tree, which is on the banks of Krishna river of Panchaganga confluence. Know well that one who is instrumental for birth is also instrumental for giving protection and saving. Let your well-being be promoted. So saying, he disappeared. Trusting the words of that young ascetic, the aggrieved woman lifted the dead body of her son and carried it to the Paduka place which was beneath the Audumbar tree and banged her head to the Padukas by using force. Due to the impact of that act, she suffered head injury which resulted in blood flow. The blood so flowed covered the Padukas. Unable to bear the misery of loss of her son, she was crying continuously. As it was on evening time, the Brahmins who were present there were preparing for funeral rites, but she did not give consent for that. Instead, she insisted on them to put on fire to her along with her dead son on funeral pyre. Saying thus, she rolled on Padukas. The relatives and others who were near and dear to her assumed that at least the next day she would permit them to perform the funeral rites. Hence, they decided to delay the rites till the next day. With that resolve, they returned home. Then, in that dense, isolated forest, there remained only the parents of that boy and the dead body of the boy. The grieved, sleepless parents, after some time, were seized by unsound sleep at night time. That time, the mother of the child had a dream. In that dream, there appeared an ascetic who had matted hair on his head Rudraksha beads on his body, a trident and stick in his hands. He appeared below the Audumbar tree and tried to pacify her. He consoled her in the following manner: Hey mother, why are you abusing me without any reason? Why are you grieving so loudly? What is wrong with your son? What is the reason for your present miserable condition? Let me try to ward off your grief. I shall see to it that your son certainly survives. Thus saying, he applied the sacred ash which was with him on his whole body. Then, referring to her, he said, I am going to inject the life giving air in the whole body of your son, by which he shall be alive, and disappeared. Scared by her dream, she got up thinking that she, being under a kind of illusionary state, had a dream. She felt that no one should be blamed for her destiny and that what we think so would be the dream. By that time, the body of her son started getting warmed up and slowly the boy gained consciousness. The dead boy, as if he got up from the sleep just then, was awakened. He sat down and looked around. By taking the name of his mother, he started crying. Presuming that an evil spirit has entered the body, the mother ran away from the scene. People who assembled to perform the last rites of the deceased boy were shocked. Some were even talking in terms of sorcery and black magic after observing that strange incident. But quite a few of them believed in Guru's mystic powers. However, when the hunger-stricken son came running to her and begged for food, she realized the truth. Tears of joy flowed from her eyes. She embraced her son and fed him through her breast milk. Even then, she had a little suspicion about the whole matter since an unbelievable incident had taken place. She lifted her son, took him to her husband, and explained the matter to him. She felt that as Sadguru was not at fault, she ought not to have criticized him. Both husband and wife eulogized the glory of Shri Guruji. Even others were in praise of the Master. They prostrated before him with love and devotion. Along with the child, they circumambulated the Audumbar tree and saluted the Padukas of Shri Guruji that were consecrated there through 8 limbs touching the ground. After taking a holy dip in the river, they washed the blood-stained Padukas and purified them with ablution. Then they prayed to Shri Guruji for condoning their unintentional crime. Thereafter, they worshipped the Padukas through all the rituals as ordained in the scriptures and offered the seva of revolving around the Audumbar tree and saluted. The couple praised Shri Guruji very highly in many ways. Meanwhile, the sunrise time set in. The people who had assembled there for the funeral rites were surprised to see the boy playing, who was dead earlier. The couple eulogized Guruji through hymns and arranged for mass meals program. Everyone was delighted and the entire environment turned lively and blissful. The glory of Shri Guruji came into light in an enhanced manner. It is difficult to describe the greatness of Audumbar Kshetra. By worshipping Guru Padukas there, one achieves everything. Devotion to Guru is the best means to cross over this mundane world. Here ends the 21st chapter in the most auspicious Shri Gurucharitra. Shri Gurudeva Datta. Shri Guru Dattatreya Arpanamastu.